Welcome to the Reiki Witch Podcast. I'm Becca, your host, a Reiki master and practicing witch with a passion for blending the mystical and the practical. Whether we're uncovering ancient wisdom to deepen your spiritual practice or navigating strategies to streamline your spiritual business, this podcast is your sacred space to grow, learn, and thrive. Hello, my powerful little moonbeams. Welcome back to the Reiki Witch Podcast. So the other night, I watched the movie In Time. It has Amanda Seyfried, I think I said that right, and Justin Timberlake. And it's a dystopian sci-fi film where time is literally currency. People stop aging at 25, and every minute of their life has to be earned. If you run out of time, you die. And the wealthy have decades, even centuries banked, and the poor are scraping by hour to hour, just trying to survive the day. So what really struck me wasn't just the tension of it all, it was the way the wealthy moved. They were slow, luxurious, unhurried. They sipped their drinks. They ate their meals slowly, fully present. They took their time reading books and magazines. They didn't rush anything because when you have time, you don't have to. And I couldn't stop thinking about how this was related to the frequency of abundance and how it's not frantic, it's spacious and rooted. When we slow down, we soften. Our nervous system regulates. We begin to change the direction of the divine currents. We start to attract. Our souls become still enough to receive the gifts of the universe. And that's where the magic lives, in the slowness, in the grounded, clear, receptive energy that Capricorn is calling us into. Capricorn energy is often described as grounded and earthy, and it is, but she's also more than that. Capricorn's symbol is the sea goat, half mountain goat, half fish. She's the one who climbs high and swims deep. This sign holds the sacred tension between earth and water, the material and the mystical. She's not just here to build structure. She's here to build structure that's been guided by spirit. Capricorn isn't just about grounding. It's about bridging. She's the sea goat after all. The one who swims in the depths of the soul, then climbs the mountain to build what she found there. This full moon asks you to do the same, to slow down, tune in, and create something rooted and visionary. So let's talk about the energy that we're stepping into. This week's full moon, happening on Thursday, July 10th, is the Capricorn full moon, also known in the Farmer's Almanac as the buck moon, a time when the antlers of male deer are in full growth mode. It's a symbol of power, of mature structure. Capricorn is also deeply connected to the root chakra, the energetic center of stability, grounding, and safety. When our root chakra is balanced, we feel anchored in our truth and supported. We move from survival mode into trust. And that's the frequency Capricorn invites us into, one where we're not grasping, but building from a solid foundation. Now, most of you probably already know that Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign, ruled by Saturn, the planet of time, devotion, boundaries, and deep soul responsibility. And this moon is also dripping in Crone energy, the sacred elder, the mountain witch, the part of you that doesn't chase because she already knows. She knows what she's building. She knows what she's here for. She doesn't rush. She roots. Capricorn is the crone of the zodiac, and she brings us the opportunity to ground into clarity, create aligned structures for our sacred work, tend to long-term vision and soul legacy, and finally call in abundance that is rooted, not rushed. This is a moon for reclaiming sacred discipline, not hustle, but devoted, soul-led creation. And that kind of creation doesn't come from pressure. It comes from presence, from tending to the small, sacred acts that root us in clarity, the rituals that bring us back to center, one breath at a time. And speaking of this Capricorn Crone energy that's rooted in clarity, I want to share something small that's been helping me anchor into clarity lately. I've been working with rosemary as a plant spirit, not just in ritual, but in the day-to-day. I have a fresh sprig of it in a glass of water next to my desk, and sometimes when I just need a minute to regroup, I will stop and breathe her in. And sometimes I just look over at her and say hello and give her a little tickle. Just her presence at my desk reminds me to slow down, be clear, and come back to my center. In European folklore, rosemary has long been associated with memory, but not just cognitive memory, soul memory. In English and European funeral customs, rosemary was often placed in the hands of the deceased or thrown into graves as a symbol of remembrance. This connection appears in literature and tradition as a plant used to remember the dead, but also to honor the legacy of the living. It helps us remember what matters, who we are, what we're really doing this work for. If you've been feeling foggy or scattered, bring rosemary into your space this week. Burn it, bathe in it, sip it in tea. Let it be an anchor for your daily ritual. Now, I want to talk about the intersection of money and magic, because Capricorn energy is also about our relationship to wealth. Not just money as numbers in a bank account, but money as a mirror, a current, a sacred exchange. Capricorn wants us to get clear, to clean up the way we receive. And one of the most potent ways we do that as spiritual practitioners, wellness coaches, energy workers, and mystics is through our sacred offers. I want you to ask yourself, are your offers clearly defined? Can people easily find you and know how to pay you? Are you building from your soul or out of pressure? If you're an intuitive entrepreneur ready to activate your next offering with clarity and energetic alignment, I made something just for you. If you follow me on Instagram or are signed up for my monthly Moonbeams newsletter, you've probably already seen it. It's called the Sacred Offer Activation Guide, and it's completely free. It'll walk you through how to call in, define, and activate your next offer from both a soul and structure perspective. You can grab it in the show notes or go to my website at BELLARUNA.com, and it's there on the homepage. Now, I want to weave in a bit of myth. If you know me, I always need to add in a sprinkle of folklore and myth. It's my jam. I want to pull in the myths around the mountain witch archetype. In Alpine and European folklore, we find powerful crone spirits who dwell in the high places, the keepers of time, of rhythm, of truth, like Perchta, the winter goddess of the Alps, who was once honored during the 12 nights of Yule. She's said to roam the snowy mountains, checking in on households, especially women and children. Those who kept their homes in sacred order and honored the rhythms of the seasons were blessed by her. But those who neglected their spiritual or domestic duties, Perchta was not afraid to deliver consequences. She reminds us that structure and devotion are not punishments, they're sacred responsibilities. And there's a deeper wisdom in her message too. By tending to our space, keeping it clean, energetically clear, and sacred, we open channels to both our highest self and the divine. A cluttered, chaotic space often reflects a cluttered mind and an overwhelmed nervous system. Perchta teaches us that when we respect our space, we create clarity, and that clarity becomes a bridge to the other world. And then there's one of my favorites, Baba Yaga, the Slavic forest crone who lives in a hut that stands on chicken legs and spins between worlds. She's oftentimes feared. She does not deal with fools, and she does not give easy answers. She will test your intentions, your courage, your truth. But if you approach her with respect and integrity, she offers ancient, soul-deep wisdom. Baba Yaga is a threshold guardian. She exists at the edge of the forest, the place between what is known and what is possible. She is a symbol of the other world, but also the fierce clarity we need in this one. She reminds us that transformation comes when we're willing to straddle both realms, the physical world and the spiritual, and face the truth in both. And then we have the Huldra from Scandinavian folklore, a mystical forest or mountain spirit who appears as a stunningly beautiful woman, but always with the clue that she's not quite human. She'll have a tail or a hollow back. She can bless the wanderer who shows reverence for nature, or deceive those who come with impure intentions. Huldra, too, is a walker between worlds. She is of the forest, wild, alluring, mysterious. But her presence reveals something deeper. She invites us to engage with beauty in the natural world as sacred, as alive. She reminds us that to honor the unseen is to be in sacred connection with both the physical world and the spiritual one. Huldra teaches us to honor the wild, to respect the unseen, and to remember that beauty often holds mystery beneath its surface. These archetypes live in all of us. If you feel called to go deeper with your moon magic this week, this full moon is a powerful time to invoke these energies. Let them walk with you as you tend your altar, write your intentions, and build your sacred path. Now, of course, I whipped up a simple Capricorn full moon ritual you can do at home this week. You will need a white or green candle, a sprig of rosemary, a bowl of salt or earth, a piece of paper, a pen, and optional, you can bring in smoky quartz, a moss agate, or a garnet stone. First, you'll need to set up your altar. Place the candle in the center, rosemary nearby, and the bowl grounding the space. Second, you'll light the candle and take several deep breaths. And then on one sheet of paper, write what responsibilities, roles, or pressures you are ready to release. On another sheet, write 3 soul-rooted commitments you are making to yourself moving forward. And then I want you to bury the release paper in salt or soil, and then place the commitment page under the sprig of rosemary. Let its spirit bless and protect your intentions with clarity. And then you'll want to leave the commitment page on your altar until the new moon. You can then bury or burn it. Now, after all of this, I want you to remember that this full moon is not here to overwhelm you. It's here to steady you, to invite you to slow down so you can finally hear the wisdom that's been inside you all along. If you are a spiritual entrepreneur, a wellness coach, or just an intuitive business owner, and you're ready to get clear on what you're offering and how you're calling abundance into your work, you can grab my Sacred Offer Activation Guide in my show notes or on my homepage at BELLARUNA.com. And if this episode inspired your ritual, your altar, your moon work, I'd love to see it. Tag me at BELLARUNA Awakens on Instagram, or you can email me or send me a direct message. I really would love to see how you've been inspired. And finally, if you love all things magic, ritual, folklore, and want to be the first to hear about any upcoming programs or events that I have, join my monthly Moonbeams newsletter. The link will be in my show notes. And I'd love to close on this note. May your work be sacred, your path be steady, and your magic come alive. Blessed full moon. Until next time.